Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it just finished at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. It kind of, well, I wouldn't say it played out exactly how I expected it to go, but I know that there were a lot of people out there from scanning social media and watching other people's previews. I felt like the expectation from this game amongst the fan base was that we would blow over Brentford, like we have done previously with West Ham and Sheffield United. But I was pretty certain that this would be a lot tougher than those two games, particularly Sheffield United. I thought it would be much tougher than that. Like, Brentford are no mugs, don't get me wrong. Like, they came for a fight today, put it that way. And they defended really well for the most part, and they kept us out and they kept us contained for quite large portions of the game. There were two changes to the starting lineup. Obviously, Aaron Ramsdale comes in as the goalkeeper for David Raya, because David Raya is ineligible to play against Brentford because he's technically on, well, not technically, he is in the eyes of the law. He is on loan with us from Brentford at the moment. And then the wound that Martinelli received, or that Martinelli got during the Sheffield United game, hasn't healed in time, so Leandro Trossard came in. And even though I think Trossard's been really good for us since he's come in, the one thing that he doesn't provide that Martinelli provides is pace. I feel like when we have Trossard on that left-hand side, we have to play a different way. But, you know, on paper, it was one of those games that I thought, yeah, we probably should win. I was very cautious of the fact that, you know, Wissa, who eventually scored the goal for Brentford, has scored, you know, two goals in 2 games. You know, there's always the danger of Ivan Toney, so I was always cautious going into the game. We go 1-0 up in the 19th minute for a header from Declan Rice. Brilliant piece of play, cross in from, I think it was Ødegaard. It was Ødegaard or Saka, I can't remember. But anyway, header from Declan Rice. Then just before half-time, the ball is given back to Aaron Ramsdale in goal. He kind of swaps to his left foot or his right foot, and he's charged down by Wissa, who deflects the ball into the net. And obviously Sky did the thing that they're always doing when they're trying to push for a headline, is they keep cutting to David Raya, looking at his reaction. Then when the halftime whistle went, they spent all the camera time on Aaron Ramsdale to see his reaction. I suppose this whole Raya Ramsdale thing doesn't help when you've got the media trying to stoke the fire. But you know, these are guys that like to say that they're innocent, and they're trying to push good vibes and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem as to why there is a discourse in all facets of interest or whatever is because the media like to push a narrative, and they like to, as I say, stoke the fire. So I didn't appreciate that. But yeah, second half we came out. I thought the game in the second half was a lot more even. I thought the first half we controlled, despite the mistake from Ramsdale. I think we controlled the game in the first half, dominant, like completely. Second half was a bit more even-handed. There were a couple of chances for Brentford early on in the second half. Brilliant save from Ramsdale. You know, the ball comes to Ivan Toney, tries to lob Ramsdale. Ramsdale tips it over the bar. There was another save as well, which was a header from Collins that Ramsdale tipped over the bar. And then, even though Mopé was offside, and this would have been bittersweet if Mopé had come on for Brentford and scored, because Arsenal hate this guy. This is the guy that purposely or allegedly purposely injured Bernd Leno a few seasons ago when he was playing for Brighton. But yeah, he was through on goal, and Ramsdale came out just in time to clear his lines. 85th minute, a ball comes in on the right hand side from Ben White. 1-2 with Ben White and Saka. Ben White puts the ball in, headed in by Havertz, his 8th goal of the season. And there's been a sort of, I don't want to go far as to say redemption, but that's the only word I can think of right now, like a small redemption of Kai Havertz. Because when he came in, everyone was like, don't want him. he's shit, blah, blah, blah. Look at what he did for Chelsea, this, that, and the other. And I was saying, you know, for the first 2 years of his time at Chelsea, he was actually decent. It's only really been in the kind of latter part of Tuchel and then Graham Potter and the second coming of Frank Lampard that that basically caused or where he didn't play as well. But I feel like he's definitely found his feet with us this season so far at this point in the season. And you know, it was getting nervy, and for us to kind of dig deep, and that's how I would sum up this performance. I'd say that we definitely dig deep, and we definitely kept pushing, because it felt like a goal was coming. It felt like the way we were playing, that we spent a lot of time in their half, a lot of corners, a lot of set plays. It felt like at some point a goal would come, even though at the time I was thinking it feels like one of those games where we aren't going to score, that for some reason the ball wouldn't go in the net. But thankfully it did. 2-1 up, we managed to see the game out, and yeah, we now finish the day top of the table by a point, with City and Liverpool playing each other tomorrow, and the best we can hope for is a draw. I think I will be watching that game just to see what happens. Regardless of what happens, I think one of them if one of them beat the other, they'll go above us, and it'll be down to sort of Easter Sunday, which I believe is the 31st of March. Easter Sunday, when we play City at the Etihad, is when we can kind of gain that momentum again. I don't actually know when Liverpool play again after that. Liverpool, their next game is it's earlier on in the day, against Brighton at Anfield, which I think they'll probably win. So I think regardless of the fact of that, I think we still have to, obviously we have to go and win that game, but it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Pretty pleased overall. I think it was another sort of caveman win, or half of a caveman win, if you want to call it that. A term I phrased when I first started Armchair Armory, you know, those kind of like not very great performances, but you still managed to win. It was the type of game that we, you know, various points in that second half, it looked like we were, you know, petering out for a draw. And at some points, obviously, as I mentioned, Brentford could have nicked it. And I think I don't mean to keep laboring the point, but we dug deep and we got there in the end. So yeah, congratulations to the team. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. Yeah, I don't do that very often, but yeah, I thought I'd do it today. First time top of the league since December, I want to say. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow, whether the footballing gods will do us a favour, because we've actually beaten Brentford 3 times this season, which is unlike the footballing gods to allow to happen. Because I forgot we played them in the FA Cup. Was it the FA Cup? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the FA Cup. I want to say it was the FA Cup. No, it wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was the League Cup. So he went out in the round of 16 in the League Cup this year, losing to West Ham. So yeah, we beat them 3 times this season. Twice 1-0 at the G-Tech in the League Cup and the away fixture in the Premier League, and obviously we've won 2-1 today. All 3 of them were really, the 2 games I've seen, which are the league games, they were both really tight games, and it shows that Brentford are definitely not the team that they're not the quality of their league position, put it that way. I think they are a really, really good side. You know, they've taken, in my opinion, for their position, they've taken the Premier League by storm. They've been one of the teams I've been really impressed with, and it helps that I have a sort of soft spot for Brentford because I work in the area. So yeah, I have a sort of soft spot for them. But yeah, commiserations, guys. We needed to win this game, so yeah. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back in a couple of days previewing Porto. So until then, as always, take care and stay safe.